The first video I uploaded onto my sports card-oriented YouTube channel was in October 2021. Now, 10 months later, after uploading my 125th video, I have finally been able to be monetized, and I have now for about a month. If you're watching this video, you probably already know this, but in order to get your YouTube channel monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Now, I actually hit the 4,000 watch hour mark maybe 3 months ago, and just last month, I finally hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So I thought it'd be interesting now to share with you how much money my channel has made in its first month of being monetized. Let's get into this. Let me show you behind the curtain a bit here and share with you a little bit about my channel's analytics. I'm gonna save the actual amount I made in the first month of monetization for just a little bit later on in this video, which is why that part is blurred out here. I thought it'd be interesting so you could kind of see not just the number, but kind of the reasons behind the number. So as you can see here, within the last 28 days, I've had 7,472 total views, which is a little bit higher than previous months. Not a huge significant amount, and this is kind of a trend with my channel. My views and subscriber count have been continually increasing, but in a kind of gradual upward momentum. The numbers do increase month by month, and for my channel at least, it's been kind of this slow, constant chugging forward. I did have one or two little spurts here and there throughout that 10 months. Early on, I remember there was a channel that had about 10,000 or 5,000 subscribers, and he recommended my channel, and I had a little burst for a moment there, and I think that happened twice. But otherwise, it's generally been this constant, slow upward movement. It's kind of been like tortoise style, not hare style. You can see here that I tend to upload a new video approximately every 3 days. There's some occasions here and there where it may be less, but generally it's been an every 3-day thing, and I have that as a schedule. I actually have all of my videos for September uploaded already, and it's every 3 days. There's no rhyme or reason to why I've chosen that. It seemed like a pretty good pace for me. I haven't figured out if there's certain days of the week that seem to do better than other days. So at the moment, I find like this every 3-day thing is working okay. That's every 3 days I'm uploading a regular form, a regular length video. And you can see here in the second half of the month, there's a whole lot more than that. And that's entirely because of YouTube Shorts. I've never done that before, but just about halfway into this month I'm sharing with you here, I started that. If it seems interesting to people, perhaps I can also make a video of that later. I'm only like about 8 days into this 30-day experiment I'm doing of uploading YouTube Shorts every day. I've already pre-uploaded an entire month's worth. They're all snippets from previously uploaded videos from like a long time ago that I thought were still real relevant and really could be useful for people. And a lot of them were from videos that were made before I had that many subscribers as well. So I figured that, a lot of people probably haven't seen them. So I'm uploading those ones onto my channel daily to see if YouTube Shorts does anything to help my channel's growth. I've heard it can. So far, I'm not seeing a whole lot, a little bit, but maybe in the future I can share a little bit more about that if you are interested. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in something like that. You can see here in the daily views that my channel has been getting more daily views recently, but again, not by like a huge number. The nice thing for me here is there's a couple of older videos that seem to be getting an evergreen kind of interest to them, which is a big reason that those daily views have been increasing actually. Because my newly uploaded videos that I upload every 3 days, they're not necessarily getting that many views. Some do better than others, some get quite a few, some don't get much at all, but a handful of these older videos are getting views consistently. Not a ton of views, but at least a consistent amount of views. And the number of videos of my older videos that are getting this kind of viewership has grown. It used to be there was one video that kind of got this ongoing evergreen kind of content, and then it grew to 2 to 3, and now 4 or 5, maybe 6, something like that, are videos that are always in, I can always see in my analytics that they're getting a consistent number of views. Not a lot each day, but some each day. And that's been helpful for my analytics, because then even if some of my newer videos don't get a lot of watches, some of my older videos are still getting some, which keeps things, at least the floor has risen a little bit. My ceiling isn't growing very fast, but my floor is risen. So that means per day it's a little healthier, I think. So anyway, let's see what else we got here. Looking at watch time, you can see some pretty similar things going on, some ups and downs, generally a slow increase overall. tortoise style once again. Looking at my ongoing subscriber count, it's much more random day to day. Some days I don't get any subscribers. Some days I get, like, what looks here about as many as 8. Just spurts here and there. Over the course of a month, you can see the trends day to day. It's hard to tell what's going to happen, but over the course of a month, this is a pretty normal month. 91 subscribers in this month. The first couple of months I had on the channel, were much slower than that. But after, I don't know, maybe the first 2 months after that, I think it's increased to 75 to 100 subscribers per month is pretty normal, I think. Again, maybe slightly more in more recent months, but not by a huge number. All right, before we look at the revenue, let's look at a few other things real quick that I think are just interesting. If we look here at the content tab, you can see that I've just recently started with YouTube Shorts. Like I was saying earlier, so far it's just 30 to 50 views per short. But again, we'll have to see what happens later. And we'll have to see what happens later in this experiment. It's too early to really say if this is useful for me or not. Here on my video content tab, you can see a few more metrics if you're interested. 5.2% click-through rate, which is just okay, I think. 4-minute and 45-second average watch time per video, which is decent. I think most of my videos are 8-10 minutes, something like this. So that's okay. That's not bad. In my audience tab here, you can see I have about 4.2 thousand unique viewers this month, including about 802 returning viewers. I kind of like that 802 returning viewers number. I don't know if I'm thinking about this the wrong way, but considering I have about 1,000 subscribers, I have about 802 returning viewers. If those 802 returning viewers are also subscribers, it means maybe 80% of my subscribers are watching more than one video per month. So that's nice. I like that idea. I mean, that seems like a good sign to me. It means maybe people are wanting to come back and watch videos more than once. Maybe that means they'll keep coming back in the future. I don't know for sure, but just that's what it seems to my logical mind. Scrolling down here, you can see other channels people watching my video tend to watch. No big surprises there, really. Those are all quite large sports card related channels. I say large, if you're not within the sports card niche, this might look like kind of, not that large of channels. But within the sports card niche, a subscriber count of 10,000 plus is really, really very large. This isn't like other niches where multiple accounts have millions and millions of subscribers. That sports card investor channel right there is probably the biggest in the entire niche. By kind of a large margin perhaps, and those other ones are all quite well known by the sports card YouTube community. So it's not a massive niche, which in some ways I kind of like, to be honest. I mean, going off on a little tangent here, but in some ways I kind of like that because it creates a little bit more of a community atmosphere. If you're in a niche where the biggest YouTubers in your niche have millions and millions of subscribers, like it's like somebody that's out of reach. I kind of feel like in the sports card niche, it's a community. Everybody can talk together. People, who have YouTube channels that are a little bit larger, they're just a regular Joe and Sam like me and like every other YouTuber and like every other sports card person. So it feels a little bit more like a community rather than just like, a couple of big voices. Generally, I mean, that's my feeling, at least. I don't know if everybody feels the same. All right, scrolling down more, you can see some other interesting things in here. One is the fact that only 28.3% of my viewers are subscribers. So if you are watching this and you've watched some of my videos before and haven't yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button now. Maybe I can get that number to climb up some. All right, now on to what you have been waiting for. How much money I made in my first monetized month. You can see here in the revenue screen, there's 3 numbers up there. One here is the RPM and the CPM, so $6.30 and $12.50 respectively. If you don't know what those numbers are, they basically tell you how much money is made per 1,000 views. Some YouTube niches have really high numbers here, like tech and personal finance, I believe, while others have much lower numbers. It seems here like the sports card niche is pretty low in comparison from what I've seen and from what I'm making here. Just to let you know too, the RPM, basically that represents how much I'm going to be making per 1,000 views. The other larger number there represents the whole amount that YouTube makes, but then of course they get their big chunk from that as well. Now, looking at how much I make in an average day, you can see that my first day monetized was August 10th, and I made a whopping 17 cents that day. Though I have to say that was probably my favorite 17 cents I have ever made. After 2 days, that climbed up to about $2. Again, this is per day. And since that time, it tends to hover between $1 and $2 per day, maybe a little tiny bit higher on average since I started uploading the YouTube Shorts daily. But it's kind of a small difference so far, really. Maybe just raises the floor a little bit. The ceiling is not too much different. But again, there's still a slow upward trajectory here, which is what I would hope for. I mean, I've learned from this YouTube journey that it's not about sudden big virality. It's more about like this slow, steady consistency, at least for this kind of channel. I mean, there's probably viral channels that aren't going to do that well in that method, but for this kind of community oriented kind of channel within this particular niche, I think it's all about like a slow and steady upward trajectory. And as long as it's doing that, I'm feeling happy about the channel's growth. Scrolling down here, you can see there's 5 videos that are my biggest money makers so far since being monetized this month. It's interesting to note that all 5 of these are slightly older uploads. The ComC price guide video there is the only one that I've uploaded during this past month. The rest in there are a bit older, some quite a bit older. The first one there is my only video on the channel that's reached over 5,000 views in its lifetime, and that one seems to be kind of cementing itself in a nice evergreen status, which I'm really happy about. None of my other similar kinds of videos that I've done since that time have done particularly well, which I'm surprised about, and I'm not quite sure why, because I have seen the success of that one. I've tried to do a few others similar, and maybe there's something else I need to learn about that, because the other ones I've done that are somewhat similar have not been so successful. Another interesting thing is 3 of those top 5 money-making videos are all related to ComC, which if you're just here because you want to know about this YouTube channel thing and you don't know about sports cards, that's basically an online sports card marketplace that I talk about, quite a bit. And this is also telling me that, those I kind of already knew this, but that those videos are some of the most popular on my channel, and they tend to do pretty well whenever I'm releasing them, so maybe I should be making more ComC videos. All right, and my total revenue for my first month of monetization is $45.25. Yeah. Now, that may not seem like a lot to you, but I love it. It's without any question the most work I've ever put in for $45. I mean, it'd be tough to calculate how many hours I put into this. My hourly wage so far for this is pennies on the hour at the most, but that's all right. While I do hope this channel will continue to grow and bring a better and better string of income for me over time, I'm not only doing this channel for that revenue stream. I'm doing this channel because I want to do this channel. I enjoy it. I enjoy connecting with people in the sports card community with it. I enjoy capturing and sharing learning with it. It's not just the revenue I'm motivated by here. That's not an altogether absent factor, but it's just one pixel of this bigger painting. Now, if you like this kind of video, do let me know. This is perhaps the only video on my channel that isn't specifically about sports cards, but I just find this kind of thing fascinating. In addition to my 30-day experiment with YouTube Shorts, I'm also cross-posting to Instagram and TikTok. So we'll see if anything comes of that as well. So maybe I can include that in a follow-up video about my YouTube Shorts experiment. And in addition, another interesting one for me at least is I'm also turning the scripts of a lot of my videos into full-on articles. And I'm doing a 30-day, like written articles, and I'm doing a 30-day experiment of publishing daily written articles about sports cards on medium.com while I'm also trying to learn that platform. Because actually when I make these videos, for most of them, sometimes it's off the cuff talking, but actually my favorite thing is kind of the research and then writing a script. So oftentimes it's already almost an article. So I'm kind of going through an experiment of seeing what would happen if I publish a daily article on medium.com and try to connect into some publications on there. So I've already started that process as well. Maybe I can give you a link down below if you want to check it out, but I'm probably going to make a video on that once I've done 30 days, just to give a little bit more kind of about my experience with trying to write about sports cards on Medium. But that's it for this video. If you like sports cards, subscribe and come back. If you don't like sports cards, you could subscribe, but only do that if you're going to come back. Don't subscribe if you're not going to come back. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Peace.